Hello. Before we go live this week, I wanted to address that we took a week off due to the sudden loss of someone. Tiffany Gonzalez. We suffered a loss a week ago, so we took a week off. Honestly, I probably would have taken a little more time off if not for the urging of Tiffany's husband. He assures me that you would have wanted the show to go on and you would have wanted the boys to be paid, and that's exactly what we're going to do. Tiffany, you had a magnetic personality, and it definitely shows in the amount of men and women who have stepped up in support of you and your family in this tragic time. Lucha Pro has put together an event taking place this Sunday with all proceeds going to benefit the family, and I would love to see everyone there. If you can, go support, show it. Tiffany leaves behind a loving husband and 2 wonderful children. Tiffany, family does not stop at blood. You're part of the family. GCF will continue to honor you and your legacy. Thank you. Here we go again, guys.
What is up, ladies and
gentlemen?
Joseph Saint.
We're back.
Who am I joined by?
It's your boy Hollywood Hogan.
RJ Wallace.
Let's get right into it. We've missed out on a little bit here. Hollywood, take us away. What's going on in the world?
A lot of news since we last spoke, my boys. Let's just jump right into it. It's one of the biggest news out there. Marty Scurll officially done with the Ring of Honor. That contract is over with. He's gone. He's moving forward. The company gave the title to PCO. I mean, is what it is.
Yeah. You know?
Whatever. So he's gone. He's doing his thing. He showed up to the NWA the following day. A lot of people think he's going to sign up there long term, but I've been told that Marty Scurll is only going to be there till at least January or March. Then he's going to make his decision where he's going to be at long term. The favorite, obviously AEW.
Why wouldn't it be?
One of the dark horses, New Japan Pro Wrestling, because remember they're opening that new wrestling company in the States this next coming year. They're expected to offer big money. That means he can also work with Ring of Honor still if that partnership continues. We'll see. The other one, the WWE. Ooh. Here's the problem with the WWE, though, and this is like an exclusive thing that I know that I've been told. There's 2 things with WWE. Paul Heyman wants to offer Marty a contract to be on Raw.
Ooh.
Because he sees that Marty fits that demographic with AJ Styles and the United States title. He's trying to make that title prestigious because, it gives more days off for Brock Lesnar. So that's what Paul Heyman wants. Well, Hunter wants to put Marty on NXT. So WWE doesn't know what kind of offer to really, what contract they want to offer to Marty. So that's a little thing that's going on with WWE behind the scenes. Right now, the favorite is AEW, but I wouldn't be shocked if WWE comes up with a massive offer, especially if he's just going to have to start on Monday Night Raw.
Villain Club at NXT, though.
First of all, no, he's not signing with NWA. You'd have to be a moron to sign with NWA. They have nothing to offer you.
There's a pit stop.
I'm sorry. It's the truth. Look at them right now. And, I've praised them, and I'll continue to praise what they do right, like firing a piece of shit like Jim Cornette. They did right. But you're Marty Scurll. You have any offer on the table you want. You're not going to sign with NWA Wrestling.
No. This is just a
and
quick little
National Wrestling Alliance, not N-Words with Attitude.
And that's RJ's future company.
Marty could rap. We've seen him on
GCF
Being
goes under. I'm changing it to N-Words with Attitude.
He absolutely should go with AEW, but he's not wrong. to go with WWE. If the money's there, hopefully it's only a 2-year deal. Take the money and run. But
I do think it's interesting, the whole Paul Heyman dynamic there, with him wanting to put him on Raw.
and I'm one of Heyman's biggest supporters, but he has not been doing the job that they hired him for.
Yeah.
So I'm a little weary to that.
I mean, Bischoff didn't either, but I don't see Paul
Well,
Heyman
he
getting
never even
fired.
started.
Yeah.
No, yeah. One thing I do think New Japan's going to offer him a big contract, though. That's one that AEW should be more concerned about. Because I think WWE, again, they're having way too much issues trying to come up with an idea of what to offer him. I think that's going to be concerning to Marty, that they don't even have a real idea for him yet. They could be bouncing back and forth. So I think New Japan is something to watch, because I think they will offer him a big contract.
I guess my thing with New Japan is, what would they do with Marty in New Japan? I mean,
Well, I
he
heard
would
New
be the-
Japan's been pretty washed since
he
they all
does
left.
own the Villain Club name.
Oh.
So anywhere he goes, that's to him. He can take that anywhere.
Villain Club
That is a
versus the Bullet
huge.
Club. Is the Bullet Club still a thing?
Allegedly.
I think
I haven't worn a
is it
single
Kenta in
Bullet.
it now,
Yeah,
or-
I was like, I haven't worn a single Bullet Club shirt since the Bucks left. So I
I
was
stopped
watching.
wearing it after we got copyrighted.
I was watching all the old Being the Elites the other day, and I was like, "Damn, New Japan's still around, huh? Still kicking."
Well, New Japan's doing a lot better, at least in the news right now, than ROH is.
This is true. Oh man,
The sinking ship.
Mercury is putting the nail in that coffin, and good for him for
good.
doing
Yeah,
it.
Well, talking about something related to Mercury, John Morrison confirmed that he signed a multi-year contract to return to the WWE, expected to debut during the Royal Rumble. That is the plan
So
for now.
he's not going to NXT, you don't think?
I think the plan is right now he shows up to the Rumble and he's going to be on SmackDown. I think they want him to do something with the Miz again.
You know what? That actually, Miz needs that more than he does.
Johnny Smack?
Johnny Smith.
It's John Morrison. He can finally stop taking the $1 million name changes.
Johnny Fox. What you want to get Johnny FS1 over?
I'm a little upset we never got Johnny Gold here or Johnny Federation here.
I mean, never say no. Well,
Johnny
I guess
Federation is a
it's-
good
Now
ring
we
to it.
I know, yeah. I mean,
Yeah, multi-year deal. We'll see how that works out for him. But
I mean, we
think
can still
the
get his
plan-
wife.
Well, for now. Let's be real. She's going to get taken up real fast by all the other promotions as well.
This is true.
They just released, I'm sure that's in your notes, that the TNA just released Killer Croc.
Yes, after
Or Killer
you know,
Cross, Killer Croc, DC.
It's like Killer Croc was in
Suicide
TNA.
Squad. No, yeah, that was another in my notes. Killer Cross was released by Impact finally after back and forth negotiations.
Yes, that went on for months because they weren't paying a livable fee
Yeah.
to a wrestler that was
That
tied
was so
down to a
long, I
contract.
forgot about it.
Yeah.
And he released a hype video kind of teasing all the different wrestling companies that he could possibly go to. The biggest one was that he kind of left WWE last in the video. So a lot of people are assuming he's going to end up on NXT at some point.
With his girl.
Yeah, that's one of the
That would be
things.
good. I could see him doing
If
that.
Vince has made a point of trying to break up Rusev and Lana every chance he gets, do you really think
I mean,
he's
that
going to let
marriage,
those
that
two be
marriage is
together?
doomed when Rusev showed up on Total Divas. Let's be honest. I mean, John Cena and Nikki broke up when they went on Total Divas.
Did you?
The kiss of death.
That might be in the notes, even though it doesn't matter. That Nikki Bella said John Cena never took a dime for being on Total Bellas, and she feels bad that it painted him in a bad light.
Because John
You
Cena
let them
makes
need it. He makes more than the
$100
whole
million.
company.
Yeah, like he could buy WWE if he wanted to.
With all the movies he's making nowadays. One thing back to go to John Morrison though. The plan is right now is to have him face the Miz at Mania. That is
That's
the
a bit
potential.
quick. I
Yeah.
would rather see that's 2 years in a row that it's going to be like, oh, Miz thinks he has a tag partner,
Exactly,
and now they're
yeah.
versing each other at Mania.
That so far is the plan looking moving forward.
would be the
Sin
storyline
Cara
behind
released.
Oh, my
Oh,
boy
we've got a lot to
Sin
talk about on Sin
Woo,
Cara.
I was waiting for
I mean,
that
I
one.
applaud it
I
too,
was
but
waiting
oh,
for
the
that
next
one.
move. So let's talk about this. Sin Cara released, but then what did he do? Because this is the best part.
Showed up in Mexico.
He showed up in CMLL. He does not have permission to be there. He still has 90 days.
Oh, he didn't have
He
permission
showed
to
up,
be there?
no, and he
Oh, yeah,
used
90
the
days.
Sin
When you're
Cara
released, yeah.
name.
By the way, Killer Cross doesn't have that on his. He could wrestle anywhere now.
Smart.
Officially, he doesn't have to wait the 90 days. But yeah, Sin
'cause
Cara.
TNA doesn't have enough
show
Sin
up.
Cara
Changed his
showed
name.
up now, but when he showed up, he had Sin Cara blasted across the screen.
Gotta make that money.
So you're in double breach of contract here.
Man.
I think the only thing going for it is that WWE cares so little about Mexico, and it's
God,
proven that I think they're just like, well, he didn't sign anywhere big.
He didn't
It's
show
all right.
up. He didn't show up at Dynamite.
Vince is just like, where did he show up? So he got deported? Oh, well. That was
Lord.
yeah. That was it.
WWE released a couple of people, which is kind of surprising because we've been talking about the last couple of weeks how the process of these wrestlers asking for their release doesn't happen. Somebody that's been asking for his release for a year now, Luke Harper, finally released as well.
I mean, he is. He's not only asked for his release, but he's gone out of his way to bury it every chance he got.
He's
he
phoned it in
told
for
everyone
a
that he
while.
didn't want to be there anymore. I mean, I hope I know that Marty took a picture with him. I hope he's with Villain Club wherever that goes.
Well, even I know we're going backtracking, but Marty also, one of the things is that he might wait for some of the guys from Ring of Honor that were in his little team to get their expired contracts. Flip is free
Flip
March.
2 months. Okay, yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
so he
2
might
months
wait
now.
and for them to be free, so they can all end up going to AEW. That's something that's also on the table.
I could see Flip going straight to AEW. Though.
Oh,
I don't
absolutely.
see Flip
I
waiting.
don't think PCO wants or needs to go anywhere other
Oh,
than
no,
where he's at
PCO
right
I
from what
think
I've heard, is
PCO
staying
needs
long-term.
to retire.
Okay.
That's what PCO needs.
now. You know what? I'll give credit where credit's due. No one expected him to have this second chance.
He made it
And
work
he's
somehow.
bigger now than he
Yeah.
was when he was whatever. Was he one of the Rougeos or one of the Canadian?
yeah,
He was something.
yeah,
yeah.
It was something pretty bad in the 80s.
The Mounties? Yeah. No, that was
He's not the
I
Mountie.
think
No,
it was
no.
a storyline where he
Yeah.
stole Brett's jacket, and that was a storyline. Brett had to get it back. I think he was like a pirate or something.
Yeah.
And like Brett's whole storyline was like, I have to get my jacket back.
I mean, no worse than
simple times,
Brett's
huh?
dentist when he's feuding with Lawler, and Lawler brings out Isaac Yankum.
So I mean, yeah. So PCO made it work. I mean, do I agree with?
Tell me
Ring of
again
Honor
how
doing it?
classic wrestling was better.
Please, Cornette. So a couple of wrestlers released. It looks like WWE is kind of just giving it up and kind of getting these guys released because I mean they're not using them. Might as well just give them, and they're healthy. That's the biggest thing as well. Another wrestler that's expected to leave the WWE is Matt Hardy. They have been using him the last couple of weeks, so that's kind of showing that they do want to keep him around. But it looks like they're going to. Matt's gonna, after his contract expires, leave the company.
He's got a very entertaining YouTube show right now. Free the Delete. It's like a minute long each week, but it's entertaining.
Yeah.
Matt's reinvented himself over and over again.
He had a great match actually this last Monday, which again they're starting to use them a little bit more and more. But it looks like he'll leave. The favorites being Impact and AEW is where he'll probably end
My
up
question
landing.
is, if Matt leaves, do they send Jeff with him?
Jeff's not coming back.
They keep extending Jeff's contract.
They're quietly telling Jeff to just lay low.
Yeah.
At
get help.
this point, get help, get healthy, and they've done it over and over and over again. And
So are they gonna do the same thing they did with Christian? Be like, you know what? Well,
you're retired.
yeah, you're done. Jeff.
Well,
You're-
Christian was a case of concussions that he's still never let out. But Daniel Bryan got to come back, so
Stem cells, man. We're probably going to see Edge back too.
Morrison is a big proponent of stem cell
and
research
didn't
as well.
Edge get cleared or something?
That's rumored.
Rumored Mania match, supposedly.
Yeah, I really don't want it. I mean, I love Edge. Would love nothing more than to see him again. But I don't.
I guess it
want
depends.
Yeah.
It
who
depends
he's
on who he's
working
facing.
with. Because
Undertaker.
I mean,
Let's do it. Edge and Undertaker one more time.
No.
in a Mania where we're probably getting Lesnar versus Tyson Fury, I mean, I'm pretty much don't want to see that. More news. Talking about actually releases, MLW released Teddy Hart, and then they went to go sign ACH, who then the next day quit and retired. So things are going great for
MLW.
yeah.
MLW's not bad though. I've caught
No,
up
yeah,
on
they're
it.
doing
MLW
pretty
is
well.
not
MLW's got a
bad,
good
yo.
product.
Yeah.
They're quickly going to place Ring of Honor as that next
absolutely.
company that's.
I think so. Their
Yeah.
production value is really good too for what it is, and they do really good shows at nightclubs.
Do they have a reasoning for the release of Teddy Hart?
Just a lot of back
As
stage
always.
type
backstage
of drama.
Stuff, yeah. I mean, Teddy always kind of shoots
Teddy's-
himself in
yeah.
the foot. Yeah.
There's this, hardcore speculation that Teddy Hart was involved in some women's disappearance as well.
Jeez.
Yeah. So
Okay.
That's
MLW
heavy.
just doesn't want to be a part of that.
That's heavy.
But I mean, signing the guy formerly known as Jordan Miles and then him just quitting the next day, just he's just fully Antonio Brown in his wrestling career, just to the point where just anywhere he goes now, he's just gonna
Wait, so
ruin it.
MLW was the Patriots of wrestling? Is that?
It lasted the day because he was next day he dropped a video saying that he's retiring because the
so
company
is
the
he gonna
wrestling
start
world is-
tweeting pictures of him at MLW saying he's sorry, like in like a couple weeks, or like him with Triple H and be like, "I miss you."
Yeah, and like
I
in like
miss
a
you,
year
Hunter."
when he admits that he actually had health problems, even though he's denying it up and down right now.
I mean-
there's nothing wrong with me. I'm like, are you sure? Because right now I would take the excuse.
Hey, look,
they're
dude,
giving
hey,
you a
look.
reason to act this way. Just say yeah.
And
yeah, I
MLW
messed
was
up.
such a
First step
perfect
is
landing
denial.
spot for him too.
right?
Oh,
I was gonna thrive anywhere else.
yeah, exactly. Robert Roode suspended. Wellness policy issue. Also, one of the Cologne brothers were suspended as well.
Primo.
According to Michael Cole, Robert Roode got roughed up by Roman Reigns, which is why he isn't going to be on TV for a while. Move on now. You should have watched
Slipped
TLC.
on some of that dog food.
Slipped on
Also,
some dog
one of the
food,
Cologne
yeah.
brothers did get suspended. He said that he wasn't he didn't
So
fail a
this,
test.
yes,
Yeah.
the story goes that Primo is in Puerto Rico with his father running there's a top promotion out there that is pretty big. WWE asked to run the test on
Yeah.
him, and he said, well, I'm not going to spend my own money to fly out to you. If there's a way to do it out here, I'll do it. He never heard back, and then a month later, he was given notice that he was suspended. So essentially, you're getting that CM Punk wedding day treatment.
For they've been begging for their release as well, and
Oh, yeah.
WWE seems to just be because the suspension they could add to their contracts. That's another big thing with them where they think it's personal.
Why not
vendetta?
get
which you're
rid
not
of the
using
people
them.
you're not using?
Yeah.
Why waste the money on the people you're
Yeah,
not
Zack
using?
Ryder wants to leave.
I would
Pretty sure
too
a
if
lot
I
of
was
people
Zack
wanna
Ryder.
leave.
You know,
It takes like about a year. Sin Cara's been wanting to leave. That's
you
replaced
know.
him
I
so many
mean,
times.
there's guys that Apollo Crews probably wants to leave. You know,
Apollo Crews never should have left NXT the first time.
You know, I
Robert
mean,
Roode probably shouldn't have left NXT either. 'cause-
Robert Roode shouldn't have left TNA.
That's just not true.
Robert Roode should have, you know, done something else. I don't know, but yeah.
In Hall of Fame news, the Animal Batista will be headlining the 2020 Hall of Fame class.
Let's talk about Batista, man. I like what Batista.
Are we talking about Batista, or are we talking about Batista and
Dana Brooke?
Dana Brooke?
Man, he changed the game for everyone. How he slid those.
Everyone
DMs
watching
in
that
pub-
Twitter.
Oh man.
I mean,
Usually
at
you're
this point,
watching
they have
Twitter
to tweet
feuds,
the
but
tape,
yeah.
right?
No, oh, absolutely.
They got a live stream at this point. That's how they're like debuting it on there. It's more
I think
entertaining.
Batista's got the cameras rolling in his dojo, waiting for that.
It's going to be an MCU movie. Drox. No, but yeah, Batista will be one of the Hall of Famers. Fit Finley's going to be inducting them, which a lot of people didn't realize that would be somebody thought was going to be
Right.
Mysterio, but
Yeah, I always thought if Finley was inducting anyone, you would think any of the women that he trained throughout the
Yeah.
years, not Dave Batista of all people. I would have
Exactly.
thought for sure Triple H, but you know.
or Devon, you know.
Eh,
that was one somebody was telling him to like let him be the inductor, but Batista quickly turned that down. And another big one, the NWO.
but the NWO is who? Say the names.
Hogan,
It's-
Hall, Nash,
It's 4.
and X Pac.
I know.
So
6.
Okay, look.
So
Okay, I just get this one real quick. Look, I don't hate X-Pac. I love him. He's very underrated. But if you're gonna put the NWO, either put the original 3 or put all of them. All of them. If you're gonna
I'm
do
not
it.
even asking for all of them. If you're gonna put X-Pac
Yeah,
in, who
but
was
you-
6,
Yes.
because he was the 6th member, why not put 6 members of the NWO in?
Well,
Or at
because
least put the
Macho Man's
fourth
dead
person
and
member.
Vince is holding a grudge. And
Macho Man's in the Hall of Fame.
who's the fourth one?
Yeah. DiBiase was the
DiBiase
was
one
the
to
money
join after
behind
them.
it.
Yeah.
You know,
And-
even
and like
shouldn't
Rick Rude.
Bischoff be in there with that?
Bischoff should be the fourth
JJ
person.
Dillon went in with the Horsemen. Why can't
Yes.
Bischoff go in with the NWO?
Bischoff just got fired, and then it's like, hey, but you were in the NWO, though. I mean,
no hard feelings.
no
right?
hard
Like
feelings.
Hall of Fame.
But you want to come to Tampa? You...
Again, it's like no offense to Pac, but it's like really. I mean, I'd rather see fake Sting be inducted with the NWO. Than
I'd rather
Pac,
see
'cause,
China
like,
get in the Hall of Fame. Is that too soon?
In theory, she's in with DX. They didn't.
In spirit, yeah, you're right.
It's very-
I mean, well, yeah.
Oh, damn. I didn't even think about that.
Okay.
Shit. Well,
Anyway,
No, but like you said, it's like if you're gonna
thank
put
you
the
for the
three-
shout out to the scarf. I know.
is that the only thing you wore here? It's cold outside.
You know, when you're this good, it just.
It must be a rich white person thing. They just
Absolutely.
It's like
what
heated-
It is.
it's like heated
This
in
is
his
the
limo and-
Silver Spoon collection.
so you can't get that at Macy's.
You can't. You can't. Not even Mark Anthony could afford this line. All right. And I've seen his line. You know, it's up there, but it's not
What does
quite
J Lo's
safe.
ex-husband have to do with?
He's got his own line of clothes.
Oh, does he?
Well, once you lose JLo, that's what you got to do.
Right. I was still wearing FUBU till like my sophomore year of high school, so I can tell you.
Continue on.
Just to circle back to the NWO again, like it just Bischoff is probably going to be the one that inducts them, but it's just going to be weird seeing Pac up there.
There's-
It's just like
There's a question for everyone. NWO, if they can't induct all of them, who should have gone in? I know
Big
which ones
Show,
won't.
Shawn
I
Michaels,
think Steiner
Booker
and
T.
Bagwell,
Booker
who
T.
are Public Enemy right now, should be in.
Yes.
When I
Yes,
think of
Steiner's in.
NWO, I think Buff Bagwell because he was repping them 20 years later.
They
when
could
it's
pick him
gonna
up in
come-
Vegas. I don't
true.
think it's going to be that expensive to get him from Vegas.
Not at all. Not at all.
He's available.
What was that football player that was in the Four Horsemen that ended up joining the NWO?
Mongo?
Mongo.
Steve Mongo McMichael.
He could be in it.
Well, Dennis
Scott
Rodman
Norton.
should be in
Dennis
it then.
Rodman.
Yeah.
Scott
Dennis
Norton.
Rodman meant more to the NWO than Pac did. I'm sorry. He just did.
I'm just saying he had more main event matches than Pac did.
Rick Rude.
Rick Rude.
That's the name.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, yeah.
No, but it should have
There's
just
so
been,
many ways you can go with
It
this.
should have just been Hogan Nash and Hall. And if you
Yeah.
want a fourth member, then it should have been Bischoff.
Absolutely. And at this point, it's a little redundant that all of them are now two-time Hall of Famers going into this.
Yeah, that's
Kind
crazy.
of felt like a quick decision to be like, let's just
Yeah.
put Pac with us as well.
Hogan-
Which is also the way of telling X-Pac that he's never going in on his own. Ever. Because
You'll
you're
go-
not
you'll go in with
there's
DX
no
twice.
way in hell that
NWO.
X-Pac is being a 3-time Hall of Famer. So you're not getting in. Sorry, 1, 2,
It's like,
3, kid.
sorry, my guy, but you better enjoy it with your buddies because you're not going in by yourself. I mean, good for. I mean, he's got 2 rings to pawn one day,
Yeah.
so I mean, shit.
He's doing good for himself. You know, I'm not gonna knock him. I like X-Pac. He's
I do
got a good-
too. He's
one of
come-
the, one
he's
of the
come
better
a long way.
podcasts out there as well.
He does
well,
have a
dude,
really
it's like
good
not a
podcast.
shot at
No,
Adam
not
at
at
all.
all.
But like I think of him more as DX than I ever did with the NWO.
Absolutely. I think
Yeah, he's
everyone does.
widely associated with
Like, he
DX
was
now.
in it for a few months. He got
in
injured and he got fired.
Yeah, I know that time's passed, but in hearing that he's up there with Hogan, who publicly said, "You don't cut the mustard, brother," and after they fired him, it's a little funny that now all of them are going in together.
Yeah.
And I hope he says a line about, "I guess I cut the mustard."
Well, was yeah that, but I remember X-Pac talking about like when him and Hall went to TNA their last run, like him and Hogan made amends.
I'm
and shit,
sure.
and, like,
You know, time.
Oh, yeah.
he'll- you know.
Granted, all 3 of them were high as shit.
But
during
that's
that
still a
run.
moment in
But
that
I mean,
history with the
yeah.
NWO. You remember Pac showing back up on Raw and bringing it up when you returned with DX, taking a shot at Hogan as well. It
absolutely.
doesn't, like, again, running back to it.
I mean-
4 members, let it be Bischoff. If you're not going to have that, then just let the original 3 go in, because that's what made it, technically.
I mean, there's still hope that Hogan breaks a hip and doesn't show up anyway. So I mean,
There's a finger
keep
poke
hope
of
alive.
doom
Yeah,
involved.
you know, keep hope alive.
We get the Booker T, Shawn Michaels, Big Show.
Yeah, the WWE NWO.
Porn quad,
Everyone
Kevin
loved that,
Nash.
right?
No, what?
You didn't like it when they threw Booker out?
So then that means Vince would get inducted too.
You know what I
because
want in
he-
the Hall of Fame? I want the plane ride from hell just inducted into the Hall of Fame. Everyone involved in that so they can all share one giant speech. Ric Flair's the one that has to induct it.
Oh, weird.
Ruined the NWO in one swoop. It ruined Mr. Perfect's last run. Ruined
Man,
so
yeah,
much.
Ruined a lot. Goldust was probably ruined.
Oh my God!
Yeah.
You had Goldust on that flight, drunk and trying to woo Terry, and long after they're divorced. I could do an entire show on the plane trip from hell, and I think we might eventually. Now that
You know
Doc
what? Now,
series.
that'll get some views on our yeah.
Another news: the New Day has re-signed with the WWE. The one thing that I found that was really cool about that, they all signed for the same amount of years and the same amount of money.
That's the interesting part. I mean,
Quality.
good for
Yes.
Kofi because obviously he was
Could've
the
got
one that
paid
was
way
going to
more,
be.
yeah.
Yeah, they all held out for that.
So all 3 members getting paid the same amount. Show and Cedric's injured as well. Not Cedric, my bad. I forget all the names.
Wrong
my
black
bad. I know.
Xavier Woods.
Woods.
There you go.
Cedric.
I was trying to remember
Man,
who was
man
injured.
said Cedric.
I know.
We ain't seen.
Well, he hasn't been on TV.
Yeah,
so
so
I
we
know.
ain't seen
might as
Cedric
well.
One of them
since-
that wasn't on TV.
We ain't
I
seen
picked the
Cedric
wrong
since
one.
SummerSlam. You said. But Street Profits got an extension too.
Yeah, but I didn't even know the contract was up. I just feel like they're just signing guys
They're
to
just
announce
signing
it.
guys.
They-
Yeah, exactly.
I don't think they signed when they originally left NXT. So it was just like an
So they were
extension
on
of
the
their NXT
rollover deal.
contract.
I gotcha.
Still, I just feel like they're just bringing it up, just to be like, hey, we signed our guys, and
No,
it is what it
we
is.
signed an extension to all the black guys in light of this whole Hogan getting a 2-time Hall of Fame induction. You know.
I've got one that I just read earlier. Sting once again says that if the Taker card were on the table for Mania, he could get in shape and pull that off, and it's still the one thing that he would hold out for. Let's yay or nay this. Like realistically, at this point, would you
love
still want Sting and Taker?
It's not going to be as bad as Goldberg Taker.
It
right?
w't be as bad
It's
as Goldberg
not,
Taker.
yeah, at
They
least
could wrestle.
Sting's a better
Especially at a
wrestler,
Mania,
yeah.
and that's
Yeah.
what Sting's saying. It has to be Mania, has to be
Well, yeah.
Taker. It's that there's a number
Swear
of
to
things
God,
that
they have it at Crown Jewel.
there's a number of matches, and just a number, like this is the truth, that we didn't get to see that were hinted at in our lifetime. And that's probably, aside from Austin Hogan, this is the one that everyone's going to keep being like, is there still a chance? Is there still a chance?
Yeah, and you ruined it. Seth.
It's too late.
Seth ruined it.
It is what it is. But yeah, I don't need to see it at this point. It's one of those things that's better in the memory, envisioning it than it would ever be at this point.
At this point, yeah. I mean,
I would
the
have to
chances
see
were
how
there.
it gets built. I would have to see how they bring it to the forefront.
You know, I lost interest after he lost to Hunter because like that whole build to that.
Yeah, that
was
was
like.
I mean, I will say this: I would still rather see Sting and Taker than any Austin Goldberg match that they both hinted on his podcast.
Oh, yeah,
I
that
never
was-
cared about that to begin with. Definitely never need to see that now. Austin was better than you all around, always.
wants to see that.
It's just not anything I ever needed.
Yeah, no.
Well, Goldberg even hinted as well is that he's pushing to have one more match with Taker to make up to him, but it's like nobody cares. Like
No, and
you
good
did your
luck getting
damage.
that. I don't think Taker's going to grant you that at
Yeah,
this point.
Taker's just like, no, man. I still haven't cashed that Saudi check yet.
It looks like the next plan with Goldberg might be Riddle, though. I think they are actually going to eventually do that.
Goldberg,
what
Riddle?
what I've been told. I mean, Riddle's even been starting
If-
doing
if
some
Matt-
I would,
if
Goldberg
I
Matt
would
Riddle
love
doesn't
it
get the
because
rub.
well, and let's be real, he won't. But what I look forward to more is Goldberg to try and stiff shot Riddle and get his arm broke.
Hell yeah. If Matt Riddle loses, Matt Riddle should, after the match, just smoke a blunt right in the middle of the ring. Be like, man, fuck your wellness policy. You made me lose to Goldberg. And, like, I'll go to AEW. Fuck
I
it.
mean, it's only a $10,000 fine. Ask Enzo. He talked about that recently.
Oh, that's
Are we talking about Enzo Amore?
How we go?
we can now. I don't have it in my
Dude,
notes, but
Enzo Amore,
really can't.
you suck. You are a real piece of shit. You know what? He tried to bring hip hop into it, and he's terrible at rap.
who's the
hip-hop.
rapper that was snitching on everybody?
6ix9ine.
Yeah, that's Enzo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
So you're not
He's
not
trying-
offering Enzo the GCF deal?
fuck no. I mean, no.
No, I'm not even bringing up his other.
No.
I know he needs it.
It's just like, you try to pick a fight with Tama Tonga, who you know will whoop your ass. Like,
He's still running his mouth about Janela.
yeah.
And it was on tape that you did nothing.
Well, Cass threatened to kill
This
on
is out of his
Twitter.
mind. Another one that needs to admit there's something wrong there and go get help. And he tried to, and then went back immediately.
Yeah.
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 And, you know.
Well, when you hang around people like
Enzo
Enzo,
called Tama Tonga Samoan.
that was fun.
That's all you need to know. New Japan's not going to want to pick you up. Ring of Honor's not going to pick you up.
Well, maybe
for
Ring of
any of
Honor.
the shit. Like,
They
no.
might be desperate.
And more so than calling out Tama Tonga, you named his father. His father will kill you. Like, that's not even a joke.
to the wall. I'll kill him.
His father will send the rest of the Samoan dynasty to kill you. Like, oh, wait, no. Tongan, right. You're right. All those Polynesians will come and kill you.
Riddle Goldberg in a UFC fight, who would win? Riddle.
Riddle. Yeah.
Not
Yes.
even.
Riddle will make him tap out in minutes,
Yeah.
probably.
Do
Probably
we
think
Goldberg
Goldberg
not
would
understand Goldberg
Goldberg
is not athletic
would
like
legit
that?
get blown out. This isn't even me mocking him. Like, he would get blown out in the first round, and from there Riddle could get it whenever he wanted, win immediately.
Yeah.
He would just toy with him.
Goldberg is a football player. Like, he's never been an athletic pro wrestler. Like,
Yeah.
he's a football player. He's probably one of the worst football players turned wrestlers there was in history.
Brock. He does,
Oh.
But Riddle would still get him, but
Yeah, it's Goldberg.
Jay
owns-
Glazer's jacked, so
gym
I'll
and
give you that. All right. All right.
Goldberg could work in the cage, but Riddle would
Yeah,
probably
Riddle
still
would
win.
still-
Riddle's,
Yeah,
the length that Riddle has, it's like insane. But I mean, Brock's probably the worst football wrestler. Brock is terrible.
Well, at least Brock. Well, no, Brock is like a freak athlete. So
Unlike
he's really
wrestler
good at
football,
wrestling.
then
yeah.
it's Brock Lesnar.
Yeah, it's like so. Brock was really good at wrestling, but then football he was terrible.
Yeah.
But you know, I mean,
What I will always give Goldberg, and this goes back to the Austin podcast, which I do still recommend you watch, of Austin with Goldberg on it. My favorite footage of Goldberg ever, because he's so idiotic, is him shattering the windows in WCW. That two of them were staged. You punch out one, you punch out two. Why did you go for the next two windows? So you shatter them because you're a tough guy and sever. major artery, and then go and pound on the car. And this is amazing footage. You pound the top of this limousine and just like you painted it. You painted it in blood. This is one of the best WCW moments you could ever go back and see. It will always boggle my mind.
Who was he feuding with when that happened?
I think this was right after Hall zapped him with
Yeah.
the taser and he lost.
Oh, WCW. You gotta love it.
Hashtag WCW ruins everything.
Well, in other news, last week AEW and NXT tied with the ratings. Which
That was entertaining.
Yeah.
I like to see that.
Last week's
Was there
AEW
ever?
was good.
Tied.
I don't think there was ever a time, and I could be wrong, but did WCW and WA ever tie?
No.
Like
I
the
don't.
complete same number
No,
tied. Never.
like legit the same number. That's amazing.
78K, both the same, exactly the same, straight down the middle, which is crazy. It just shows you
Damn.
the world of wrestling right now.
It's
There's so many
true.
people watching it. But I mean, like we said before, we weren't on when like all this stuff was happening. NXT's been taking a couple of weeks. You know, they've been winning here and there, and a lot of people are starting to question if AEW is losing that hype already.
It's not losing the hype; it's settling. You know, it. The new phase can't last forever, guys.
No.
It was the fresh new product.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with it quieting down now that it's been going for a couple months.
Yeah, but I think people expected like that WCW type of streak.
Well, that's the
and
point.
yeah,
when you
no.
have idiots going, they're going to put WWE out of business. No one's going to put WWE out of business, guys. It's not going to happen. The only one that can do that is Vince McMahon. It's the only one that's going to
everyone's
put
setting
WWE
all
out of
these
business.
expectations so high.
Do
for
what you
AEW.
can do. You know, focus on your product, not competition, because you aren't competition for at least the first 3 to 4 years. I'm telling you straight off the bat.
And Cody's smart enough to know that, like, you know, you can't just keep dishing out big shows like off the rip. That's why he's only doing 4 pay-per-views a year.
See, I
It's
agree
what
with that.
NXT used to do. There's 4 takeovers a year.
Yep.
That's simple. You
Two
can,
of them are in Chicago, but whatever.
yeah, you know, like yeah, but I mean, you know, like you build long storylines, or you know, you kind of build everyone up. You build your roster up,
Yeah.
you know, and then you go from there. I mean, I've heard things about like their attendance has kind of been like whatever, but you know, it's gonna happen. Like some of the towns they go to, I mean,
And it's starting to look like they're trying to get away from the whole win-loss record type of deal that they were trying to push in the beginning, because now it just seems like everybody's getting a shot at this point.
Well, yeah, I mean, they already said that it resets in the new year, so there is no point until the new year.
Yeah.
also
Don't-
so the
don't-
win-loss record.
Win-loss
should be-
record will reset every year.
Huh.
It's
Okay.
I get it. There's only a number of ways that you can make wins mean something.
Is that
and that's the
technically what they
truth.
did in WCW? Because I feel like Goldberg was like 50-0. Like
No,
twice.
in WCW they just lied.
Okay.
You just had from one Raw to the next, you suddenly had 30 new wins.
Yeah.
Yeah, or from
I
one
was like,
Nitro
I
to the
don't
next.
even remember all of Goldberg's
that was the
80
running joke.
wins.
Yeah. Talking about ratings, Raw suffered its lowest ratings of the year.
Which
this week.
they wasn't that a month ago when they first suffered their lowest ratings.
well,
in
they
history,
broke it this week.
and you broke your own in less than a year.
WWE
Congrats.
constantly breaking records. Let's be honest.
They're down 19.4% viewership from this time last year.
Damn.
Which is a
So
huge
what?
dip.
Right now, what's the better WWE product ratings wise? Is it still Raw in the lead with that, or is SmackDown now?
I think as of right now, because of what happened this week, it might be SmackDown.
It's the bump.
I mean, they're both still getting
both-
2 mil.
Yeah.
But Raw is trending lower and lower. A lot of people are saying that. And it shows in the ratings. Once the whole Lana Rusev thing comes on TVs, everybody changes it. And nobody ever comes back to it.
I mean, shout out to Lana though for making Bobby Lashley
No
propose
shout-outs
to
to
her.
Lana.
That was lit.
No shout.
Talk about women's empowerment, right?
I've had.
Nigga, you
I've
better
seen
propose
my
to me.
share. I've seen my share of proposals.
She's like,
in the
can
ring.
you get?
Doesn't work.
Can you get on one knee and propose? I mean, the wedding is gonna be cool though. It's gonna be on Raw or at Royal Rumble, and you know it's gonna be lit. It's gonna be great.
It's going to be during the Rumble.
It's gonna be
Oh, another WWE news as well. They have started editing out Dean Ambrose's name from Shield videos. So from all the Shield videos, you will not be hearing Dean Ambrose's name at all anymore moving forward.
That's unfortunate.
Petty.
So are they gonna Photoshop Chris Hero's face on?
No, he never has his time. It's nothing that they haven't done before. For years, Jeff Jarrett was taped or blurred out of video games and things like that whenever they showed him. So, it's just W being petty as usual, but it's nothing new. It's just Vince
you hate to
further
see
losing
it.
his mind.
And then one more, NWA is bringing back the NWA TV title, even though they're not on TV, but it is what it is. That's the new title that they're
You
bringing.
can't call it
old
the
title they're
NWA
bringing back.
YouTube title.
Why
That's
not?
corny. Were they a
So
backyard
is
fan?
NWA Power having Dawkins sign your song every single week.
I mean,
Ah,
you gotta start somewhere.
do you?
We should have a YouTube title. No? All right.
Well, if you want to go there, I would never have a YouTube title, and I would
Facebook
never have a
Live?
TV title.
No?
You have an internet television championship,
is.
and you let the fans vote on who the number one contender is, and that's something that my mind works on because I actually think, which a lot of promoters don't do.
I mean,
Hi, other promoters. Hi.
We're not taking a shot to you, though,
You're
Billy
welcome
Corgan.
for
You're a
my
good
ideas.
person.
Everyone else takes
You're a
them.
real good
Why
person,
not?
Billy Corgan. I mean, your music sucks, but, I mean, yeah.
And the last part of the news, last one, New Japan CEO has confirmed that they are very open to working with AEW next year. So
You burned your bridge, and now that you saw how much they took off, you said, "Hey guys, we're still open to working together." I hope the Young Bucks just send you a cease and desist not to use any of their stuff. You've screwed yourselves.
yeah, and don't forget they're pretty much making it very difficult for Kenny Omega to show up to Japan at all. Pretty much banning him a little bit until they found out
Yeah,
that
they
made the
tried
news.
to get him kicked
Yeah.
out of several places.
So yeah, I don't think that's gonna happen. I think AEW was open to that in the beginning, but I think now moving forward they're just over it. But I guess because the big thing is Jericho's gonna be at the show in January for New Japan. So will Moxley. So I guess there was hope there that they could have a partnership and kind of trade wrestlers back and forth here and there. But I don't think AEW is gonna work with that moving forward. There's a rumor going around that NWA might be working with AEW in the future. That's a rumor going.
I hope not. I want them to stay far apart from each other for
Yeah.
both of their benefits. Right now, they're the two most different products out there on television or on the internet. But I don't want to see them work together.
I mean, I could see it from the standpoint of, like, a lot of the people on NWA you could see on AEW.
Look at when TNA and Lucha Underground tried to work together, and it was already the death of Lucha Underground to begin with. But the minute you merge those two, and everyone from Lucha Underground thought to themselves, "Well, if I can go win the heavyweight title from TNA, why am I sticking around on this Mexican soap opera?" And they didn't. They left, and it was nail in the coffin.
Because the Mexican soap opera. had
Don't
a
get me
shitty
wrong,
TV
I love
deal
Dario.
and ended up going.
Talk soon, man.
It ended up going to Netflix.
I'd like to run in the temple, but I hear it was bulldozed.
Oh man,
Am I going there?
that's sad. Yeah, that was bad.
Well, all right. We had quite a lot of
Yeah.
this week in wrestling because we missed out. But let's talk about GCF right now.
Yes.
There's a couple names that I've been asked questions about. Let's get into it. I'm going to start right here. Guy Cool. Guy Cool, you got it. All right, man? I mean it. RJ can...
I didn't think you were gonna start with Guy Cool.
Yeah,
I
I'm
thought
sure
I was
you
gonna start with-
didn't. You didn't think I'd go
I
there.
usually start with Guy Cool. Like you,
But you're not cool enough to say his name, okay? He gets it because he gets the commissioner.
I'm the only one who gets invited to his parties, dog.
That's what you think. Those are the after parties, man. Let's talk about Guy Cool. He has a win right now over the champion. Have you seen this? We've talked about it. There's a hashtag justice for Guy Cool. And I know that I've spoke against it
I
a
was
little bit.
standing right there when he pinned
Yeah, I
him.
know. You were standing right there, and then you let two other guys become number one contender. You know, I may or may
Hold-
not.
hold the
I
phone
may or
now.
may not have agreed to you. I'm just saying.
Can we get back
Guy
to the,
Cool
Can we show
has
the
a win
beautiful
right
beat
now.
footage? I didn't say they were number one contenders. They was talking to you.
You totally did. You gave them it. I don't remember me doing that at all. You gave two other
When, like,
guys.
Mikey O'Shea came and was spitting in our faces because he was talking loud.
Yeah, big
And,
angry
like-
Mikey's like, ooh,
And like
no,
Joey
I messed up
Barone,
again.
and
Oh.
like Joey Barone was like sweating with like half a shirt on.
Yeah,
and he was
Mikey
like-
O'Shea thought he won the match, just like Joey Barone thought he was going to win the match. You got interference. Everything's all mumbly, and you gave two guys a number one contendership. I don't think we can do that right
I was
now.
talking to Guy Cool, and then
you
you were just like, you know what? I
No,
mean,
not how I remember it.
triple-
Not how I remember it. I'm just saying, it's about to be a new year. We're starting fresh. What that means is, I know we promised these guys a title shot, and they should get it. But number one contender means there's one of them. Why do you have two contenders saying they're the number one contender?
I don't know, Commissioner. You make the matches.
Do I have permission? Are you going to go and screw something up again by going and talking to another owner and making me have to appear on someone else's wrestling show?
Might as well.
Because I
Shit,
got
that's
news
how
for you. I don't
things
work
get
for
done.
another promotion. I work for the investors that hired me for GCF.
Well,
I'm sorry if I'm a little out of bounds here, but I'm feeling a little myself these days. In the new year, the commissioner's not going to take crap from anyone anymore. That includes the owner, because I like you, RJ, but it's time to get back to business. Focus.
I said this shit like 3 months ago.
Yeah, and then you let things happen like our champ get DQ'd or beaten and DQ'd at someone else's show. Do you know how that makes our
That's
belt look?
because
Fantastic.
someone else's
No.
wife.
Do you know how that makes our belt look?
Cadillac had the match won.
No, yeah, he did. And we'll talk about that in
had
the
the match
future.
won.
But right now, I'm saying GCF is setting out for GCF. I can't have the time to make other people's champions look great. You know? That's
What
not my job.
happened to you?
A lot. And that's what we'll talk about in the coming weeks.
It's the scarf.
But right now, I
It
can
is
tell
the
you.
scarf.
Joey Barone, Mikey O'Shea, and Guy Cool all hold claim to a title shot. I'm going to figure that out
thought you said they
with
did-
or without you.
I'm confused.
No, they're not all being granted the title at once, like you tried to do. I think maybe it's time to see which of them deserves the number one contender spot.
Well, then just put him in a triple threat match.
Mikey O'Shea agrees. Tell Guy Cool to get in line. Well, how about we get all of you in line, wrestle it out, and see who the winner is? Boom, you have yourself a number
I
one contender.
just said that.
Yeah, well, no one. Shh.
I think your mic was off.
Losing your fucking scarf. You're losing blood circulation. I just fucking
RJ's
said
going
that.
on and on again. Here we go. See this? You see what I'm trying to work
White
with
man
here?
always trying to shut me down and shit. Didn't
Oh,
you?
man.
Your boy just getting impeached?
Yeah,
What is this?
You had your
Jesus.
year.
What is
Now
this?
I think it's time for you to get
Had my
impeached.
year. This is still my company.
This ain't day one shit, all right? This is day 480. I wrote it down. That's how peeved I've been lately, guys. 480
Peeved? Now
of the
you're using-
GCF. I use proper language
is how
for the
peeved
investors. Me and the investors are back to seeing eye to eye because when we work all together, we get things done. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Now, next thing. Tag team titles.
just punched one of the
Tag
investors
team
in the
titles.
face.
Nah, Gio doesn't count. He's not part of the investors. And Declan, mark my words, just because I'm cool with the investors doesn't mean you're still below me, buddy. All right, RJ.
It's because he's black.
Tag team titles.
Tag team titles. Yeah. Yeah.
Come on, man.
That was a lot to
Keep
unpack.
up.
I'm just still
Keep
trying to
up, RJ.
figure out you over here just kind of. Yeah, tag team titles. I mean, there's been a lot of tag teams that have come in and out of GCF, and we've been trying to make things happen in our tag team division, and our next show, we're gonna crown new tag team champions. Plain and simple. We're gonna find.
Straight from his mouth. All
gonna
right,
find-
let's crown some tag
Yeah.
champs.
2020.
Now we're seeing RJ. We're seeing again. Eye to eye here. Come on, man.
I've been here.
I'm glad you came around, right? We can get through this, bud. All right. Next thing. I've got a lot to talk about, guys. GCF is big again, all right? We took some time off. It's time to get back to it. It's time to make wrestling great again, guys.
Oh shit! No, we ain't. Turn his mic off.
All
Turn
right.
his mic off.
Now.
What are we doing?
Moving on. What else I got to talk about? Watch me now. It's a new year. So, we start clean. We start fresh. DI assures us that DI is fine. If DI is fine, I'm willing to let bygones be bygones here.
So you're cool with DI too
whoa,
now?
Whoa, I'm not cool with anyone except Guy Cool. DI is fine.
Cool
So let's talk about this. I know that someone's around still that's going to make his head blow up again too.
This is the-
Rossi.
I should have known. I should have known. This ain't this some shit.
Good brother.
Down low.
Cool. We gotta do a little.
Oh man, it's jacked.
Got secret hands.
I'm looking jacked. I mean, look at that. The handshake. Heard around the world boss, whatever. So
You can't hear
I heard a
handshakes,
lot. We
but-
were talking about a lot. Hollywood, I hate to do this. I know the boss and I need to talk about a few things. And when I say boss, I mean Saint, because
Always good to see you, man.
Come on. So I'm gonna get your seat back. Don't you worry,
Go
man.
for it,
I'll
man.
keep
Go
it
for it.
warm for you, dude. Thank
got
you
it,
always, man. Oh man.
RJ, before anything more, I'd like to point out, no, I get it. Yes, I'm not going back on any of my words that I've said, but it's a new year. We and the investors believe in starting fresh with each year. So I'm going to try and start fresh here. We got a lot to talk about.
We do.
Rossi,
Man. Yes, man. How's it going?
DI, and when I say DI, I suppose I mean Helmuth because he seems to speak for DI. You guys saw each other a couple months ago now on the show. And I don't know. Helmuth and Flores said DI is fine. Where does that leave you and others?
I think at the end of the day, Helmuth knows what he's talking about. Helmuth has always known what he's talking about. Helmuth is, once again, in case you guys viewing our shows in person have forgot, Helmuth is still the uncrowned UV heavyweight champion. I know the champ would say otherwise. I know the fans would say, and even you might say otherwise.
I'm not going to say otherwise. What I'm going to say is this. What Rossi is talking about is Helmuth does still lay claim to a shot at the UV division title whenever he wants, wherever he wants.
And that sounds like a damn fine plan.
And he's not carrying around a briefcase to do it.
No, he doesn't need
just
stupid
has it.
briefcase. We don't have stupid, crappy storylines here. See, you guys, we don't need all that and the glamour and the fame and all that. No, Helmuth carries with him, though, a golden opportunity. You get it? Gold.
Let's see what you did there.
The belt's silver. It's silver.
So anyway, man, he carries a golden opportunity for silver belt. Who made the silver stupid decision? Helmuth, once again,
it's black.
Can walk out of here.
It's black
The
gold,
new
wasn't
champ
it?
is pretty good. Okay, fine.
That's
Fine.
what it said on the
Either
website.
way.
Was that silver?
Yeah, it's silver.
You guys gotta figure out
man.
what color's what, man. I'm just saying.
I mean, but then again, we let our wrestlers take the belts home, so we don't know what the fuck it looks like now.
So, DI is fine. Yeah, DI is fine. I've always said, I will be the first one to say, I am not a member of DI. I'm close friends with most of the guys, some of them a little bit closer. So you guys asked the question, what does the future hold for DI really? Helmuth knows what he's doing. Flores knows what he's doing. Leaves one guy that you guys don't really talk about too often. I'm talking about my man, the man in paint, the man behind the mirror sometimes. The Count.
The man
The
behind
Count.
the mirror.
Yeah, the mirror, he breaks through it. Sometimes it's
I
scary. It's like,
I know who you're talking about.
Yeah.
He's kind of kept to himself.
He's had, man. He's a character. He's good. But see, we've talked about Mikey O'Shea. We've talked about Joey Barone. We've talked about all these people. We've talked about even Hyde, the upstanding new kind of like kid on the block, But we haven't talked about the Count quite as much. See, we've seen him lay waste to those that we've even talked about. Hyde, Mikey O'Shea. Did he come out with the win at the end? Not necessarily, but
So how did he lay waste if he lost the match?
did you not see Count Spinebuster, Mikey O'Shea? Did you not see the Count DDT, drop DDT, butterfly suplex to Mr. Hyde?
Great, he knows how to fucking wrestle.
Yeah.
I would hope so.
I would hope so too, and that says more than you understand that, you're always going around fighting your wrestlers backstage and in the ring. I'm curious and actually surprised that you knew that your wrestlers knew how to wrestle. Big guy.
No shit.
Yeah, it's just saying,
Not
when
out
people
here
ask us who the boss
Booking
is, I
some
question
random
it.
like to
dickheads from like
question
the
it.
college wrestling team in Barstow.
Yeah, we don't talk about
Jesus.
Barstow. People go
Jeez.
Barstow.
What the hell is a Barstow?
Exactly.
Anyway,
Exactly. There's a
you're
Del Taco
talking
out
about
there.
Count here.
Yeah, I'm talking about Count.
But Count is with DI, and DI is fine.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. At the
So-
end of the day, what else do we need? DI is fine. DI's doing their thing. Counts, yeah. Everything as of right now in front of us. DI, they hold.
So where does that leave you in the champion with DI? Is I suppose what I'm getting at is DI in the new year going to be as much of worrisome to me in the past, or are we back to
You know
can we
what?
get things rolling here?
I never like to speak for anybody unless they ask me to. And in this case and scenario,
Aren't you the mouthpiece?
I'm the mouthpiece of some, but not all. Listen, man. Listen. So, in the new year, you were talking about, kind of starting over, starting fresh and whatnot. I think that's a great idea. I think moving forward, that's exactly what this company needs, a kind of fresh start. Go into it, clear mind, And I think that's the best thing. So, as of right now, do we have problems? We have this? No. The only problem is that you guys need to figure out who it is going to be coming up against my man, your guys' favorite, everybody's favorite, the dad bod god himself, and your current reigning and defending GCF SoCal heavyweight champion, Chris Cadillac. That's the only problem, that I don't have a name to give my champ so he can prepare but really just look at it and laugh and then be like, okay, I know who I'm pinning next time. So that's what we're really kind of figuring out.
About that.
Yeah, but is that match set? So now me and the champ got to wait to see
Nothing's
these
set
three
until
guys
it's set.
verse each other. I mean, all three guys, great talent to all of them, you know. But again, it doesn't matter. It's all just the eventual so-and-so versus the champ. The champ walks out on top, holds the belt, we go home, call it a day. Play some Hootie. I don't know, man. It depends on how late the night
Play
is.
some Hootie.
All right.
There it is.
Well, Rossi, thank you for that.
Yeah, of course.
These are all things and answers that we'll get back to. Obviously, I do need to figure out who the number 1 contender is. There's not 4 contenders. I gotta narrow this. And he's still got some unfinished business, some other people that we'll talk about in the coming weeks here. The fact is, guys, GCF returns this February. That's gonna sneak up on you real fast, and we got a lot more matches planned. We got a lot more wrestlers to talk about. There's guys that I still don't think that they've even shown an ounce yet of what they're capable of in this company. I know that we've still got history with Trent. We've still got history that Phoenix Kid and Trent want to take out on each other. I know that we've still got up-and-comers. I know Drew Masters wants to make a name for himself here in GCF. There's several names that maybe we haven't even had yet that you're going to see in the coming year, and we'll definitely keep that up. Anything you got to say? You look a little tongue-tied there, RJ.
No, I'm just trying to figure out, 1, why Rossi Montgomery's still on my television program, and
Because
2,
I bring the viewers, man.
do you?
Yeah.
Bring...
You got 10 more
Headaches
viewers
and-
than you normally do, and that's because the kid. That's with
We're always
Capital K
at
sitting
10.
here.
You must not understand metrics or like anything. Or like
RJ,
analytics.
come on, man. You
I
got
know-
to start fresh in the new year.
Yeah.
I know
dude,
you
come
probably
on,
have
man.
like Metro PCS or something, but like you should
dude. I got T-Mobile.
get a phone service and
Alright.
watch the show
What phone service do you have?
on
dude?
your way here.
Why are we talking?
Why are we
phone
talking about
service?
phones, man? I thought you run a company. At least I thought you ran a company. I guess Saints usually.
Well,
run the
I mean,
things.
he's more of like the figurehead.
More the
Obviously,
paper- more the name
I'm
on
here
paper.
I'm here to handle
Yeah.
business. That's how we talk things through. I'm just saying, this past year we kind of were at each other's throats, and I would like to see
sometimes
things
a little
change.
more literal than figurative.
I might have uppercutted you once or twice, but
you let that go.
your champion kind of attacked me, 3-5 times. I'm willing
Who's
to say
counting?
the
Who's
new
counting?
year is a new me.
Totally
that
not
new
opposed
year
to
is a
just
new
keep throwing
company.
you into shit.
GCF moves forward. We move forward. We don't look back.
Forward.
RJ, come on, man.
Yeah. I got Saints
Come
in,
on.
man.
Right. Come on. Speaking of moving forward, get the fuck off my set so we can bring Hollywood back.
Dude, Hollywood's cool. I don't know why you have such like a bad time when I'm
All
here.
right, I'll try.
I
I'll
like
try and calm
Hollywood
him
better.
down.
All
We'll
right,
talk.
man.
We'll talk next
All right,
week.
dude.
All right.
He doesn't
Alright.
listen to
Have a
shitty
good one,
Hootie and the Blowfish like you do.
Dude, you just keep running your mouth. You're lucky that man, Hootie hates you.
I don't care.
Hollywood, join us for the wrap up here.
Fucking who cares
All
about
right,
Darius
man.
Rucker?
Hey, we're moving forward. We don't have time to focus on Hootie. They barely do. Come on, guys. GCF returns. GCF is getting tag titles. GCF's moving forward. GCF's going to find a number 1 contender. We're going to do
Look
all
at
these
Hootie.
things. Yeah, I don't know about
We're
Hootie.
not doing shit with Hootie. We're not doing anything with Hootie.
Hootie will be there, okay? I'll give him the Rossi will invite him.
If I see Darius Rucker sitting in the
Intermission
front row at
entertainment.
any GCF show, he's getting smacked.
Apparently,
How about
RJ's
that?
challenging Hootie to a match. All I did was challenge Jim Cornette and got blocked on Twitter.
So did I.
No one in
Who
Darius
gets
Rucker
blocked
doesn't,
next?
Darius Rucker doesn't even
Stop
have a
talking about
fan
Darius
base that
Rucker and
anybody
focus
would
on GCF wrestling.
Mention him.
In the coming weeks, I will tell you about this number 1 contender. We're going to settle things. I will tell you who we've got for tag titles coming up here. I'll tell you new names coming in, and there will be new names in the new year. But for now, would you like to wrap things up, RJ?
Yeah, I might as well. No, this whole episode just put me in a bad mood for some reason.
Yeah, well, things happen.
Do they? You fucking
You'll
go,
see GCF moving forward.
Fucking go on vacation for 2 weeks and you're
Huh?
all dappered up in a shitty scarf and cool with the investors now.
Day 480, man, not day 1. Don't treat it like we're at each other's throats. Day 480 of the GCF and going strong. Guys, I think that's all the time we have for tonight. Next week, I'm going to bring on more people. We'll talk about the heavyweight champ. We'll talk about number 1 contenders. But until then, guys, I'm Joseph Saint.
It's your boy Hollywood Hogan.
I'm RJ Wallace.
As always, guys, leave it on the mat or you're just another mark. We'll see you next time.